Did you know there are 7 simple budget hacks that can save you hundreds of dollars every month? Well, here to share these tips is consumer economist Bill Westrom, co-author of Master Your Debt. Bill, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Americans carry a lot of debt, don't they? Could you just give us some statistics on how much debt all of our fellow Americans are carrying right now?
Well, in the grand total, we're up close to 17 trillion, which is a pretty big number. But here's the funny thing about debt. It's a necessary evil. As consumers, we're vilified to have it, but you're not going to own a home, a decent car, or get a good education without debt. And debt comes from either circumstance or lifestyle, for the most part. People carry debt because they choose a lifestyle, an education, a type of car, neighborhood, or circumstance. Something comes up, a family member's sick, what have you. And if you're going to survive, you're going to have to survive on credit. And our whole economy survives on credit. If we don't have credit, we don't have an economy. So when we start breaking it down to student loan debt, credit card debt, etc., we can go through all sorts of statistics. But what we need to focus on is what do we do about dealing with the debt? Because here's some telling numbers. Out of our gross paycheck, we lose 70+% to taxes, 401k contributions, which isn't losing money, but it's nothing we can live on, and debt payments. So that only leaves 30% to live on. So if somebody's got 120 grand gross salary, 10,000 a month, they're only living on 3 grand. 3,000 to pay for groceries and cell phones and lights and everything else. So the real problem isn't the debt itself. It's the payments and the terms of repayment that are crushing America's paychecks. There's a multitude of, hacks, etc., that you can do to your personal budget.
Let's talk about some of those hacks. What are some things that people can do, just, everyday people, but ways that they can keep some more money in their pocket at the end of every month?
When you're talking about the things in our budget, we got wants and needs. We got needs. They're all commodities. Cell phones in your neighborhood are just the same price as they are in mine. Gas, milk, everything, all these commodities we have out there. Yeah, you can shop around, find new providers. And when I talk to my students, it's you look at your budget, look at the things that are bringing you value for the money spent. So a gym membership. If you're spending $60 on a gym membership, but you're going 3 to 5 days a week and you're looking great, there's a lot of value. If you're not going, jettison it. If you're not getting the value of the dollar, change the provider or just get rid of it altogether.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Other than that, you can shop for cell phone providers. You can do all those things, to spend less. But at the bottom line, we're chasing nickels that aren't going to move the dial. What we need to do is focus on the dollars that are going to actually provide financial stability, because we're tripping over dollars to pick up the nickels.
What steps can someone take to get rid of that debt, to pay it off and eliminate it if they don't have the cash on hand?
First and foremost, from a traditional standpoint, take the longest possible term you can get. Don't get a 15-year mortgage, get a 30-year mortgage and make a 15-year payment. You'll pay a 30-year mortgage off in 15 years if you make a 15-year payment, regardless of the interest rate, because the payment's what's dictating it. Mm-hmm. Now, if you get the 30-year, that's budgetarily friendly. Would you rather be stuck with a little payment and save your credit and not lose your home, or wonder how you're going to make a 15-year payment when your income just got schwacked in half? So the longer the term, the better it is on your budget, and you can control the repayment of the debt. You don't need somebody to tell you what to do. You just need to know how to do it. Now, from my side of the fence, I'm coming from 180 degrees in the opposite direction, because I teach people how to bank like a banker. And bankers, all they do is they leverage our income for financial gain. It's very simple. What they do with it gets complicated, but the bottom line is all they're doing is taking our money and putting it into some investment and then keeping all the spoils. And we do it for ourselves every month with a 401k. But what I'm bringing to the party is how to take your paycheck, take it out of their hands and do what they do. Leverage it, but we do it on the debt side of the ledger, because when we leverage our income against a debt balance, the balance is what costs us the money, not the interest rate. So the lower balance we can have, the less interest we pay, no matter the interest rate. And that's what I specialize in, is teaching people how to bank like a banker.
Bill Westrom, co-author of Master Your Debt with Jordan Goodman. Bill, this was very enlightening. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And that's it for this week's show. Our internet services are provided by Pair Networks, the home of world-class web hosting. InfoTrack's executive producer is Randy Meyer, and I'm Chris Witting. We hope you'll join us right here next week for another edition of InfoTrack.